Alright, welcome back to another Friday Night Fight Night. Tonight's game, Mario Kart Wii Revolution. I don't know, for like, what, the 10th time or something?
Yeah, it looks like
10 times? Shit.
We're gonna play in this till we're 80.
No. Probably. Oh, it's on the TV, the thing we're playing.
Oh!
It's that course from the Game Boy Advance version, except it's clearly the version from Mario Kart 8. Anyways.
It's the Mario Kart 8 version, but like,
Game Boy
doesn't
Advance
look
course.
as good.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about Mario Kart 8. I can play in a Mario Kart Wii. Really makes me wonder why people pay $70 for new games these days. Ah, you idiots.
Oh, I guess there was a study that came out recently.
Yeah.
Where, I guess, you know, in 2023, more people played older games than newer games.
Yeah, it's because all new games are ass.
New games are ass.
Yeah, dude, I've been saying that for a while now.
Like, I didn't even watch the video or the study talking about it, but I was just like, yeah, it's because it's fucking bullshit.
I mean, it's because they're doing everything wrong, and that's not even, like, an over-exaggeration. Like, every game is now microtransaction to hell, or it's like a live service game that if you're not playing it every day, then you're missing out on all the new stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just, like, nothing redeeming about new games, like, at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing redeeming about any of them. Like, it's funny, because a lot of people... There was actually a funny post I saw, because it shows how old I am, and how, like, old I've become, right? And it's, there was a person that was just like, I went back to playing on the PS3 because that's when gaming was better. None of this microtransaction shit, or fucking forcible DLCs. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, at least you had at least you did a
yeah, and like, none of these crappy DLCs, none of these live services, no microtransactions. The PS3 was where gaming hit its peak, and then everyone in the comments were just like, the PS3 is when it started. The fuck are you talking about? and they're totally right, because that was the first thing I thought too. I was like, the fuck are you talking about? Mario Kart fucking... I'm like, Mario Kart. I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? All this microtransaction shit started on the fucking PS3. And then it's when I realized, oh yeah, this is a group of kids that grew up when microtransactions were normalized. So they don't see the PS3 as the starting problem. They see it as when it was still good.
Remember, Chris, I feel like we should have a phone that's in a house that just stays at the house.
Ah, yes. They call those landlines.
Yes.
Never seen one. To be fair, my family had a landline up until they got their first cell phone, and they were like, why are we paying for a landline and a cell phone when the cell phone just does everything the landline does? No more landline ever again. And I feel like most people came to that conclusion, because most people were just like, huh, yeah, no. Fun thing about landlines, though.
What's that?
So the phone line companies have to give you electricity for your phone to work. So if you modify the outlet of like a lamp or something, you can plug a lamp into a phone line outlet and get free electricity from it forever.
Huh?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a fun fact. You can splice together a lamp power line into a telephone line jack and plug it into your telephone line landline for your house that your house probably still has, because your house was probably built in the fucking 70s. Yeah, that shit will just work. It'll just light up and you'll have infinite free electricity. You will never be charged for the electricity used through there because it's provided by the phone companies. Yep.
Interesting.
I know, right? A little stupid thing that you've never known and you will never use in your life.
Except for that one guy who's gonna try it now.
Yeah, there's one dude watching this video that's like, really? And then is like also a huge tech person who like knows how to splice wires properly and without causing a house fire.
This is in America, by the way. People, don't try this in other countries.
This is America. I don't know what it is like in other countries. America gives you free electricity. I hear China's not so generous.
Well, half their population is now above the poverty line.
Says China.
The other half is so below it that it's not even funny.
Yeah, right. This is an accurate statement. To be fair, that's the problem with capitalism. Capitalism always makes the rich very rich and the poor extra poor.
What are you talking about? We're the capitalist country. We're the capitalist pigs.
Yeah, they're the communist country. They should have it figured out. It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine about different economic systems, right? And I was like, technically, true communism has never existed. But if we make that argument, I could also argue that true capitalism has never existed either. So, who really cares? Because true capitalism is laissez-faire capitalism, which is where everything is just let the market decide no matter what.
With no government
With no government overreach, period. Which would never work for the same reason communism never works. That shit would immediately fall apart as soon as people started getting greedy. Which always happens because humans are terrible fucking people.
And, yeah.
But the one that cracks me up is, I had a moment where I was describing laissez-faire capitalism, and I was just like, the thing with laissez-faire capitalism is that, like, it could never really happen because, you know, usually by the point that, someone gets too much money, either the government steps in to stop it because they're getting worried that you're more powerful than the government, or the people step in and put your head on a pike because you have too much money and they're rebelling against your thing. Which I guess, when you think about it, would still be laissez-faire capitalism. Because the market would be deciding you need to die.
You're not wrong.
Right? Like, technically, that is how that would work.
The market has decided your death is inevitable.
The market has decided that your death is necessary to the market. Wolf Castle Grounds. I don't even want to see the preview. Just give me the chorus. I'll fucking see if it's good or not myself.
Is this supposed to be Castlevania?
So I heard you like to play Castlevania. Did I ever tell you I wanted to make a whole skit about that, but never did, as like a gag? I wanted to make like back when doing sketch.
You just fucking like zoomed into the ground there.
I bonked right into the edge of the bridge. I wanted to do like back when skits on YouTube were more popular, I wanted to do one like that, which was just gonna be like the Castlevania theme song, but it would be me doing like standard, normal, not vampire-related tasks. But it would only so the song would only kick in when I started moving, right? So it'd just be like, is that a giant cat?
It's a wolf.
Oh, it's a wolf. It's a wolf castle. I get it now. Okay, I used the worst point to do that. This course is kind of rough. Not gonna lie.
I wouldn't say it's the worst course we've played today, but
yeah,
it's not
amazing. Well, that's why I didn't say it was bad, Derek. I said it's kind of rough. But yeah, I was like, I wanted to do the thing where it would be like, I would just be like, man, I'm thirsty, and then I'd like get up to go get a drink of water, and it would just be like, do 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 do. But I'd walk with like the same fucking walking animation as the character from the NES game. So it's just like,
I want this. It's so bad.
That was the entire joke. And it's, like, not even that funny, but at the same time, this was, like, 2010 YouTube, so it probably would have got, like, 1 million views because there was zero competition then, at the time.
You should have done it.
I should have just went for it. Wow. I hate everything about that jump. Okay. Note to all future Mario Kart level track makers, right? Stop putting jumps into turns! The fuck is wrong with you people? I got bananas. Ooh, banana. Oh no, my box. I kind of needed that. Oh well. What is with that boost panel on the broken part of the bridge? Like, Is that just for show? Are they trying to tell me something? Is that actually like an invisible chunk of bridge that I can actually use? Or is that just bullshit trying to kill me?
Probably bullshit.
Yeah, I just assume everything is bullshit in Mario Kart custom tracks. Designed to kill you. Why? What is wrong with my brain today?
A few things.
Good point. Like, I'm like way overturning shit that I shouldn't be turning on. Anyways, well, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not worried. I'm not crazy. You're crazy, especially you, Nappa. That wasn't mushroom. I should have took that. Nintendo Land? Whoa! My favorite Mario Kart character is Daisy, and no, it's not because of the porn, I swear.
Well, Chugga Conroy, you know, doing Daisy on hard.
Yeah, Chugga Conroy is always doing Daisy on hard. Anyways, who cares about him? He has a foot fetish, which immediately makes him invaluable as a human being. Unvaluable is what I meant to say, not invaluable. Dude, he got fucked really hard, actually. Like, can we, like, all talk about the fact that Chugga got fucked really hard on that last controversy?
I don't really know all the drama. I did not look anything into it because I didn't care.
I did, and it was really bullshit. So, essentially, like, the accuser is... Okay, listen. I'm gonna sound like a bad person here. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna sound like a bad person, but this is very
Castle
important.
Of Darkness. With Castle Wolf.
Oh, Castle of Darkness, you know. From Kingdom Hearts. So listen, I'm gonna sound like a bad person here, but I feel like it needs to be said because people just don't understand. If someone makes you uncomfortable, don't fucking hang out with them. That's on you.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Like, the fuck is wrong with you? What are you, stupid? This chorus is gonna suck. I can already tell.
I can tell.
Yeah, I can tell. You know what I mean? Like, don't. Like, Derek, if I didn't like you, right?
We wouldn't be hanging out.
I wouldn't fucking hang out with you. The fuck is wrong with you people? Like, I just don't...
Yeah, this course sucks.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I could kind of tell immediately when we started riding the wall at a really awkward and not quite working angle. So yeah, like... Essentially, the main complaint was, like, he made me uncomfortable, and it was like, alright, well, did you tell him that? And the answer was no. And it's like, alright, well, that's your fault then. Yeah, it's like, that's your fault then. Like, you should say something.
Like, let's be honest, I don't, like, I've never met Chugga Conroy in person, but I feel like if you said, hey man, you're making me uncomfortable, he'd apologize and try to fix the behavior.
Listen, I don't even know if that's true. He might suck ass. But, like... There's a secondary solution for that as well, if they suck ass. Don't fucking talk to them. Don't hang out with them. Fucking be like, alright, fuck you then. Like, you are clearly a problem, and I'm cutting you the fuck out of my fucking problems. I'm cutting problems out of my life, and you are one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just don't...
This is a reason why I stopped talking to so many people, because I just didn't want to associate with them.
100%. I mean, listen, I've been friends with lots of people over time, and some of those people are arguably horrible, terrible people. You get to a point where you're just like, you're a detriment to me, and we're not hanging out with you. Yeah, I'm not hanging out with you anymore. Like, you are more of a problem than a help. You are a hindrance at this point, and I will not stand for this slander. Are you kidding me? That's fine.
Yeah, so it was just like them saying he's creepy?
It was them saying he's creepy, and then a bunch of other women came out to say he was creepy, and by other women, I mean one other person, and it's his ex-girlfriend, who, like, hid the fact that she was in a relationship with him for years because she was very clearly embarrassed to be in a relationship with him. And then, honestly, like, people can go look up who it is, because I'm not gonna be that guy who
I think I know who you're talking about.
But, like, I'm not gonna bring up their name here, and, like, I don't really... It feels unnecessary to bring up extra shit, because it's been, like, a while now, but, there was a person that Chugga Conroy was dating for a while, and I always thought they were dating, but it was never confirmed that they were dating, but they were literally living in the same house. Like, Chugga Conroy, like, and her literally, like, moved into a house together, and I was like, that's suspicious. If they're not dating, that's kind of weird, right?
Yeah.
If they're not at least, like, dating, right? I don't imagine roommates would buy a house together, you know what I mean? It seems fucking weird. So...
But yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm sure you do. And, their whole situation was weird, because she always seemed like she was uncomfortable being with him, and then she, like... And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm 100% sure that she just used him to boast her own career, because he was vastly more popular than she was. And then all of a sudden they started hanging out a lot. And I just don't trust any part of that. You know what I mean?
I do.
God, I hate that there's no sign to tell me there's a turn there, by the way. Oh my god, I'm getting Mario Karted. I think you got this one.
I think so. I hate this course.
Yeah, this course is... I'm like driving straight and I'm like, when do I turn? When do I turn? It's so dark I can't see anything. When do I turn? Oh, there's the turn, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember hearing people coming out and being like, oh no, he's a creep. And then I was like, okay. Literally, and the only person who was still defending him was like his current roommate.
Yeah. No, so all the people that came out that said he was fucking weird was the girl, right, who didn't tell him no. His ex-girlfriend, who clearly has something against him, and his ex-girlfriend and his ex-girlfriend's literal husband. And I'm like, well, these people aren't fucking biased at all. What incredibly reasonable people to take at their word and face value. Boy, the internet is smart. Like,
and it's funny because like I've seen so many people be like, yeah, no, I've met Chuck Conroy, he was a pleasure, but like.
No, like, I don't doubt that he has a foot fetish. I don't doubt that he's weird, because he's literally autistic.
Yeah.
But, like...
He's a hugely successful YouTube guy on the internet. And who's been successful for literal years.
No, yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason, because he's fucking weird and people like his weird energy.
I think it's just that he was doing something first.
Yeah.
He was doing, like, really in-depth Let's Plays. Like, his Let's Plays are arguably, like, player guides, right? You know what I mean? Like, they're really in-depth. Which, like, he was the first to really do that. Most people don't do Let's Plays like that. Most people do Let's Plays like we do Let's Plays. Which is non-shittily given. Like, zero shits given, like, just play the game.
His Let's Plays are some of the most in-depth Let's Plays, and, like...
Yeah, like, I would never be able to do that. It's way too much fucking... Way too much work.
Way too much research.
And way too much research. But, basically what I'm saying is that, like, essentially they were like, he's fucking creepy and weird. It's the... I have a problem with this kind of just thought process anyways, which is just... I found him creepy and weird, and I'm like, okay. Does he deserve to be canceled for that, though? Like... No. Some people are just kind of weird. Like, and most of the time they don't know they're weird because they don't think they're weird. I don't know if you know this, but most people who are weird don't know they're weird. because if they knew they were weird, they'd be less weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm fucking weird. I know I'm fucking weird, though. You know what I mean? Which evens it out slightly, because it means when I'm being weird, I know I'm being weird. I'm usually doing it for a meme or to make people uncomfortable on purpose. I'm actively trying to be a bad person. That's the difference. Chuck Conroy, I think, is just kind of autistic and doesn't know that he's fucking being weird.
Yeah.
Anyways, now that I've called Chuck Conroy autistic multiple times, if he ever wants to come on the show, he's more than welcome to.
Well, Chris can say what he wants and slander him, but I think he's a good guy.
I mean, he is a good guy. I just think he's autistic. Are you saying autistic people can't be good guys, Derek? The fuck's wrong with you? I like how this happens every time where Derek's like, you know, Chris is being mean right now, but, like, that's alright. I think they're a good person. I'm like, why can they not be a good person if they have this thing, Derek? What's wrong with you? Every time. Damn it, I got float. Anyways, yeah, the whole thing was just really sketch, and that was the entirety of why, I was like, nah, I don't trust, like, anything about this. Also, we brought it up on the show the first time it came out, where, like, my opinion on it is still the same, where I was like, oh no, Chugga Conroy is in the fucking media cycle. Oh god, I wonder, like, what horrible thing did he do? And they're like, he likes feet, and I'm like, oh,
I mean,
whatever. All right,
that's not as bad as some of the other shit I've heard about some of these celebrities.
Dude, like, leading up to it, literally there was like 4 controversies all about fucking PDF files, right? And then they were like, oh no, what did Chugga Conroy do? And they're like, he's kind of creepy and he likes feet. And I was like, oh, I don't fucking care. Like, why would I fucking care? You know what I mean? It's like, I don't fucking care.
What I find so funny
that.
about that, though, is like, I guess there's some shit going on with like Mr. Beast's fraud shit.
Okay, so
and
like,
I don't know really too much about it, but
I know a lot about it, and like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where I'm like, nothing is gonna happen, and nothing is gonna come of this, and I just don't give a shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't really know too much about it.
So,
give me the cliff notes.
I'll give you the cliff notes. Mr. Beast may be a bad person because he may be doing, oh god, hold on. How do I phrase this in a situation that makes sense?
He might be not the greatest
he
employer.
he might not be, so he might be, doing bad via OSHA violations, right? First off, right?
Yes.
Like, his show might be very dangerous and his employees might actually be in danger. And to that I say, I mean, that's pretty typical of a company. And also, this is a YouTube channel, so, like, I expect safety is probably at the least of their concerns. But also, there's no actual proof of that other than the word of someone who worked for the company. But that dude was also released from the company, so he also might just be being, you know, bitter about it. It's hard to say. Most of this information is coming from someone who was released from the company, so it's hard to say if he's being honest or if it's just him being petty about it. It's hard to say. Then on top of that, the OSHA violations, which would probably be the worst ones they could get him for, right? Is OSHA violations, because OSHA's probably the only organization in the government that actually gives a shit.
Yeah. Worker safety is a huge thing.
So if that is true, then like that's probably the thing he's most likely going to be hit for. And then the other thing is they're arguing that the argument that he's running illegal gambling things with his giveaways, which I'm gonna tell you right now, is not true.
That's like that's a stretch.
Yeah, exactly. And the reason for that is via U.S. laws and jurisdiction. The only thing that is considered gambling is if you give money for the chance to win money, and not just win money, but also the money you win has to be a non-guarantee. So if you give $10 for the chance to win $100, the fact that you could not get that money is what makes it gambling. If you get literally anything back, and I mean anything back, it's no longer considered gambling. It's considered sweepstakes, or prize, or random chance. As long as you're getting something, it's not considered gambling.
Oh, I know this course.
I know this course too. It's the same reason why loot boxes are getting away with it and will never be stopped, as much as people like bitching and whining.
Yeah,
and it's because loot boxes aren't gambling. As much as everyone likes to be like, oh, they're gambling, I'm like, no, I've talked about this before.
They're gambling adjacent.
Yeah, well, they're gambling adjacent, but as I've said before, calling loot boxes gambling is going to make it harder to get rid of loot boxes. Because people are now incorrectly classifying them as gambling, and trying to get them taken down as gambling, so when the governing bodies look into it, they look into it and see it's not gambling, and then do nothing. Because they go, oh, this isn't breaking any rules, it's not gambling. Which is just wasting everyone's fucking time, and is why I'm like, stop calling them gambling. You're making it so much worse trying to get it on gambling. Like, just call it what it is. Fucking
Scummy
bad.
fuck.
Yeah, it's just bad garbage business, and the best way to deal with it is to just fucking get rid of it. Like, you have to... Like, the best way to get rid of it is to just not buy it, essentially, is what I'm getting at. But people aren't doing that either.
That's why I don't buy loot box crap.
Yeah, I will never buy microtransactions or loot boxes because they're bad for business. It's one thing if it's free to play, right? And even then, I don't pay for loot boxes in free-to-play games either, but, like, it's a whole other fucking problem when, you're trying to be like, this is gambling, when it's clearly not gambling. Fuck. I know, I'm getting, like, really screwed on this. I keep getting hit by, like, the single shells without a safety item. Well, blue shell.
Again?
Yep.
Holy shit.
You're really ahead of the pack, to be fair. Oh, that timing couldn't have been better. So, yeah, they're trying to argue that his giveaways and sweepstakes are gambling, which is just inherently a lie. Because they wouldn't classify as gambling under U.S. jurisdiction, which they're stationed in the U.S., so it really wouldn't count as gambling in the U.S. jurisdiction. Because their argument was like, oh, you had a chance to win like $1 million or a car or something if you bought one of his t-shirts. And it's like, yeah, but like, his t-shirt, I'm like, yeah, but you're getting his t-shirt no matter what, which just makes it a sweepstakes prize, which makes it not gambling, which means they didn't break any laws. I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fucking baby people's opinions on shit like that. Like, that's not what gambling is, and if you think it is, you're fucking stupid. Like, I'm not gonna fucking pretend. Like, you know what I mean? Then, on top of that, they had the argument that his game shows are rigged, which there is proof of that, and that could be bad if his game shows were on TV, because the FTC the FTC partially exists so that game shows can't scam their players, right?
Yeah.
That was established in the 1950s because game shows were making impossible to win game shows. And, like, literally humiliating and screwing people out of money that they're wasting their time to do these shows that they could never win.
Mm-hmm.
So they made it so that you can't rig game shows so that people can lose.
So
and you can't rig a winner, even though they do still do that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
They can at least use plausible deniability that they're not actually rigging these game shows to have the person they want win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing with that. Mr. Beast does not fall under the FCC because Mr. Beast is not a TV show.
Yeah,
he's a YouTuber, which means he doesn't have to follow those rules. He can rig those games all he fucking wants, and there's nothing stopping him from doing it. So, you can argue it's morally bad, but you can't argue it's illegal. Which is what they're trying to argue, is that it's illegal.
It's almost like he's doing it for the content.
Yeah.
And, like, people can't seem to understand that.
Yeah, which, don't get me wrong, that's still bad.
But then again...
It's just, you can't do anything about it.
People don't like when people succeed.
Yeah.
So, like, everybody's trying to get on Mr. Beast and Chugger Conroy.
Well, everyone's trying to end Mr. Beast. Well, okay, well, hold on, before you say that, because there is one that's bad, right?
Yeah. I think I know which one you're talking about.
So... There, let's see, I went through that, I went through the other thing. So, the only one that's like, yeah, that's bad, is, apparently he had a former, PDF file working for him, as one of the producers, I guess. And here's where that one's kind of weird, right? Mm-hmm. Is that it's hard to confirm, like, the argument is that he definitely knew that he was a PDF file, right? And they hired him anyways. The problem with that is that it's still technically hearsay. We don't know for sure, right? But then you could argue, well, he should do background checks. Here's the problem with this, and here, okay, and I gotta I gotta like explain this because it's really complicated, right? And I'm gonna again look like a bad person explaining this, but it is important, right? Number one, if Mr. Beast did hire a pedophile to work on a show, that's bad, right? Not good. That's bad. That's a bad thing, right? But the reason it's bad is because he works so heavily with children, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's bad. It's not bad that he hired a PDF file. I have to explain this because that sucks. Okay, no, that's fine. I have to explain this because there's a lot of people who are like, it's bad that he hired a PDF file. Which is true, but it's bad because they work so heavily with children, which puts them in proximity of children. Like, PDF files are still, you know, allowed to work places, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're still allowed to be humans.
Yeah, that's kind of, there's way too much of people being like, they shouldn't be humans, they shouldn't be allowed to work anywhere, and they should all be executed, which I think is insane. because that's way overkill for something that doesn't need to.
That's getting to the eugenics level there, bro.
Yeah, it's kind of a problem. Like, I get it, they're bad people, right? I'm not gonna defend fucking people like that, but like, you can't just murder people. Listen, if we're not allowed to kill people for murder, we can't kill people for that either. All right, I'm just saying, we gotta have some level of consistency there. But yeah, so the problem is that they work way too closely with children for that to be a thing, right? That's where the problem is, right? That's an issue. And again, this is still all kind of speculation, and it's not at all proven. So we got to kind of take things at face value right now, or not quite at face value. Everything's got to be taken with a grain of salt. There could be more information that comes out that makes it look way worse. There could be more information that comes out that makes it look totally fine. Well, it's kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah, but so here's something else that you might get a kick out of.
Yeah.
Did you know in the Olympic Games, Team USA had an actual pedophile competing?
Yeah, I think you told me this.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
Yeah, which, like, again, you know, see, that's one of those things that's like, yeah, but like, there's no children at the Olympics, so it's like, it's kind of fine.
The youngest athletes were like 14.
Yeah, but he's not in those divisions, so he wouldn't be there with them. Also, they sent him there with literal people watching him the whole time, so it's like, it's fine. Like, they did what they needed to do to make sure nothing happens, so it's whatever.
Still made me laugh.
Anyways, with that terrible note, we'll see you guys on the next Friday Night Fight Night. Peace to win.